Welcome back to my garage. Happy New Year, I guess. I was meant to see you sooner. Sorry about that. Well, if you know me well, and many of you do, this wasn't unexpected. It's happened more than once before. Well, let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about, let's get the wheels moving again. We're tuning my actually world's most powerful two-stroke engine, cylinder capacity versus horsepower. Actually, 32 horsepower on methanol and nitro, and not tuned properly yet. 26 horsepower on pump gas with just 2 runs, like no tuning at all. So that's what we're working on. And first, as a way to get myself back into the thought process and not just start at the wrong end or do something stupid, I'm gonna do a little how to tune an engine, and it's mostly for myself, just to get back in it. So we're in a good but also unfamiliar situation for me now, because there's no parts to be tested and to see if they work or not, or no features or experimental things to see to make sure, well, to test. There's tuning, because everything works, and that means the variables we usually play with, which is the crankcase, like the shape of the crankcase, the volume and all that, and the rotary valve, timing and shape, and the size of the intake, the carb size and length and all that, the actual cylinder itself, the combustion chamber shape and the compression ratio, and the pipe. That's mostly, well, also the ignition. Ignition timing. That's a variable still, but so all the mechanical stuff is set at the moment. It's not set for good, but it's everything. Finally, everything is actually working great, really great. And that means we need to focus on the other stuff, the actual tuning of something already in existence, not just an experimental thing. So what's our goal here? What's the goal for tuning? The goal is to extract as much energy as possible out of our fuel and air mixture. And to extract all the energy from our air fuel mixture, all E from the AFR, or air fuel AFM, air fuel mixture, we want to burn all of it. That's it. And with gas, pump gas, it's usually around 1 part fuel to 14.5-ish of air. That's stoichiometric, where you burn all the fuel. There's no excess of air and no excess of fuel. But we can't do this, because if we do that, the mixture, the burning will become too hot, and we'll start melting materials that can't stand that heat. And that's the piston and the cylinder itself, but mostly the piston. So by burning all the mixture with no excess air or no excess fuel, we'll overheat the engine. That's a fact. So we'll need to run fuel rich a little bit. Add enough fuel to not melt the cylinder or piston, but not too much to really lose power. And that's usually with pump fuel around 12.5-ish. We also need to make sure that we oh, not there. So this is the cylinder on the top. We want to make sure we ignite that mixture around, well, create peak pressure at around like 10 degrees after top dead center, something like that. We got to make sure we ignite the mixture and have the peak pressure of the burning happen at the right moment so that we take advantage of as much of the energy in the burn as possible. Have that push the piston down and thereby rotate the crank. The richness of the mixture plays a role here. The richer it is, the slower it burns, and later this peak point will happen. Richer, a little slower. A leak, that's Norwegian. Equals, and later. But then there's the ignition system. As you can see how richer means slower or later. And that means if we run richer, we'll have to ignite the mixture earlier. So more advance for richer. The arrow here. More add. This means we have to juggle the richness, the fuel mixture, with ignition timing. And that means we have to decide on what we want to do first. Now, as I mentioned earlier, ignition was kind of set already. And that's because by just empirical, by experience, I know that having the ignition timing set to around 15, 16 degrees at peak power RPM usually is the best for a small two-stroke engine like this. So that means we'll leave ignition timing there, and we'll start with playing with the richness of the mixture to find peak power. But we won't do that first, because there's another variable here, and that's stinger size in the pipe. That's the end of the pipe, the restriction. And that decides how much pressure and how much heat will be retained in the pipe. And that has a huge effect on the efficiency of the pipe, how strong the pulses are in there. And those pulses in the pipe, they correspond to the power of a racing two-stroke engine is tripled by the pipe. So that means the efficiency of the pipe is really important. So this is the first thing we want to try to set. Now, of course, to make it super optimized, we want to go back and forth here. Set the stinger size, set the ignition timing, set fueling, play with ignition timing, then play with fueling, maybe change stinger size. Currently there's a 16mm stinger in there. That's when we got 26 horsepower. That should be too large. This is 15, so that's what we're going to do in the next video, which will be released in not very long at all. My plan now to get the wheels rolling is to try to make like more videos faster, and well, for now maybe some shorter ones. Just so one video focusing on the stinger size, next video focusing on fueling, and then maybe one on ignition timing, and then we'll see where we want to go. And as soon as we're happy with the results, there's really no point in like more tuning, because all the mechanical bits are done and ready for ball wheel this year. So, and I know we have to retune everything when we get there because of the elevation, and especially stinger size has to be tuned in over there, and then fueling and all that. And we won't run pump gas, so we'll have to. So the tuning we're doing here is mostly just to see what potential we're working on. When we get over there, we'll have to do the tuning again, of course, because different conditions, different fuel. And also we're planning on running methanol and nitromethane with the other carb. You know that, you've seen this before. So that's the plan. But as last year, we're gonna start on gas and get the record, then switch over just to keep it safe, like every year. Business as usual. This video was made in paid partnership with BetterHelp, and I'm super thankful for them helping me out. And they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. There's still kind of a stigma around mental health and getting help for it. It's kind of a hush, that's Norwegian again, hush thing. It shouldn't be, and especially amongst men, I think. But it's super important, because I know with me where I can end up in such weird loops of behavior, and like not self-destructive in a physical way, but just where I'm not doing the stuff I enjoy doing because of weird things going on. It is important, super important to get the word out there and have easier way to get help versus having to go somewhere and see somebody in real life. So with BetterHelp, it's easier now. Like with BetterHelp, you can just fill out the questionnaire and you'll be matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. And if you feel like it's not a good match, you can easily try another therapist and just find someone who clicks with you. We're talking people here, so of course there's always somebody that'll match better with you and your personality and how you, just like with friends. As I've talked about before, it can be so hard to solve your own mental problems sometimes because you're often blind to what's really going on, and that's where somebody else, a therapist, can really help. So head to betterhelp.com/twostrokestuffing and get 10% off your first month of therapy. And let's focus on better mental health this year as a main focus. It's so weird how I tend to forget how much I love the feel of the hand wheels of my old beaten down lathe and the look of the green paint contrasting with the wood and all the dirt and chips. It's just such a pleasant thing for the eye. And stuff like this, like the accumulated mess of an organized system that just happened throughout the years. I don't like the white background here. But anyways, and the smell of the garage and all the tens and tens of mixed chemicals and dust and grinding dust and all that. Let's do something we should have done half a year ago. Add a little low friction shield here so that the chain won't hit the mounting bolts and throw sparks and wear out. That's dull. Yeah. It's been around 15 degrees Celsius below zero here, which meant my coolant had frozen solid. So now there's a aquarium heater in there, and a bonus effect of having that in there is I've now preheated the coolant to normal operating temperature, which means we're closer to normal conditions when testing. So we're in a good position now because the Bonneville engine is confirmed to work great and is working, and we have a bunch of spare parts and it's pretty much ready. So now we're just going to do some tuning, and after that we can just seal it off and let it sit there and wait for Bonneville this year, and we can start playing with the experimental stuff again, but this time actually have something working on the shelf. Versus how it's been for so many years now where nothing has been working well. About Bonneville, I'm going to start early this year with preparations and getting people on board, sponsorships and stuff, so that it's more secure. And last year I was joking about how I wasn't sure if America would be there when Bonneville came around. And that was a joke. But this year I'm actually properly, seriously concerned about the state of America. And that's not trying to make this a political thing. It's just, no matter what side you're on or whatever you believe in, there's trouble over there at the moment, definitely. So hopefully it'll calm down and Bonneville will happen this year. Hopefully, well, I can travel there and not be deported or shot or whatever happens to people over there at the moment. So anyways, if you want to support me and my Bonneville effort, it would be much appreciated. I'm trying to create some stability again here, and just whatever. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everybody who has been supporting me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for everything. And I'll see you very soon. Next time. See you next time.